Hello all, I welcome you all for today's session, which is Introduction to C Programming. In this topic, we will learn about programming language concepts. Also, we will learn the various programming language categories. Before going for today's session, we will just recap the last session. What we have learned in the last lesson? We have seen the block diagram of computer hardware components, computer software components, various software categories in which we have learned the application software, system software, malicious software. We have also seen the example of application software, then operating systems, device drivers examples. Also seen the various serious problems related with the malicious software. Objectives of today's session: understanding the concept of programming language, learn the category of programming language, and learning outcome: demonstrate an understanding of computer programming language concept, distinguish among the generation of programming languages. Topic to discuss in today's session is Introduction to Computer Program, Introduction to Programming Language, and Types of Programming Language. In this, we will see the various category of programming language, that is low level programming language, assembly level programming language, high level programming language, and scripting language. What is computer program? Where computer program is used? Why we want to write the program? What is the use of computer program? Computer program is all around us, carry down everyday tasks which make life simpler, easier, convenient, safer, and more efficient. From traffic light to washing machine or mobile to cash withdrawal machine, all where we are using the computer program nowadays. A computer program is a collection of instructions that can be executed by a computer to perform a specific task. If we consider the example of making a bread butter, jam, or making a pizza. So here the recipe of making the pizza is nothing but the step-by-step instruction to make a pizza. Computer program helps to control and organize everything around us on a daily basis, every minute of a day and night. Computer program is in high demands, high salaries. That's why we want to write the program. As a computer programmer, we are having a plenty of benefits such as organizing the data, documentation, information, searching of information to carry out the complicated time-consuming calculations. So, computer program is like a recipe. It tells the compute one step at a time what it means to do, except that instructions are written in a normal language such as English. The computer program written in language in which it is understood by the computer machine. Every step's instructions are written in a simple, clear rule. Introduction to programming language. A computer is a general purpose machine which can perform many computational tasks. This task is not done by the computer itself. So, for computer to do something, one has to give the instructions. These instructions are step-by-step information to perform the specific task. These instructions are called as program. Now the person who are writing the program called as the programmer. Now, how these instructions are given to the computer? In which language do we give instruction to the computer? The language in which the instructions program is written is called as a programming language. Computer programming language, it is consist of numbers, binary numbers, alphabets, symbols, or simple English, in which it could be easily understood by the computer or it can be easily converted to the understandable language by computer through various mediator stages like compiler, assembler, interpreter. Programming language is an artificial language designed to communicate instructions to a machine. It is used to create programs that control the behavior of the machine. Here you can see the various popular programming languages: C, Java, C++, Python, Basic language, Visual Basic, PHP, JavaScript, and so on. Now we will learn the types of programming language, or you can say the category of programming language. A very first programming language is the machine level language. It is also called as first generation programming language. Next is the assembly level language. It is also called as second generation programming language. Next is the high level language, which is also called as third generation programming language or high level language. And the next one is the scripting language, which is also called as very high level programming language or domain specific language. Now, what is machine level language? The computer can only understand the binary language. This binary language, it has only two values, zeros and 1. The instructions are written in the form of zeros and 1. Here the computer is built in such a way that it understands zeros and ones only. They can recognize the pattern of 0 and 1. These two binary levels are easy to build in the hardware. If we consider the example, if we say that current is passing or say flowing through wire, we will call it as a 1. And if current is not passing through the wire, we call it as a 0. So this binary language is used. The specific patterns of zeros and ones is called as a machine level language. In short, the language which is understood by the computer is called as a machine level language. This is the first type of programming language in which instructions, program, code is written in the form of zeros and ones only, or the combination of zeros and 1. Program is directly dealing with the hardware, in this case directly working on the memory and the data. Programmers should know everything about the computer processor, computer architecture he has to know. And hence machine language is difficult to learn, as it is a hardware dependent programming language. It is difficult to debug the program. Therefore, to resolve this issue, another type of programming language is invented, and it is called as an assembly level language. This assembly level language is also known as second generation language. In this assembly level language, instead of zeros and ones, mnemonics and symbolic codes were introduced. Now suppose if you want to add the 5 and 6 number, and we want to write the code into binary, so it will be just the combination of zeros and ones. And if we want to write the code into assembly, so it will be use mnemonic code. Programmer could write add 5 6. So lot of mnemonic code or symbolic code is used in this language, like add, subtract, and so on. So it is in human readable format. The programmer understood the program by just look into the mnemonic code, which was very difficult in the situation of binary coding, that is machine coding. It was lot easier to code than the machine level language. But the mnemonic code cannot be directly executed on machine, as the machine only understands the binary zeros and 1. Hence, we have to convert assembly level language into the machine level language by using the assembler. Assembly code is converted into executable machine code by an utility program that is referred as an assembler. It's most easier to code in the assembly level language as compared to the binary level language or the machine level language. But this assembly language is also having some drawback. If the program size increase, then it is very difficult to spot the errors and it's very difficult to debug. As assembly level language is also hardware dependent, so code written in one type of computer cannot be executed in another type of computer which has different type of architecture than the previous one. So to solve this kind of problem, the another type of new language is invented, where lot more people can come together and write the program, which is not a hardware dependent. It is called as a high level language. High level language, which is also known as third generation language. This language is designed in such a way that it is very easy for beginners to learn, and it is very close to human readable language. For example, if we want to add 5 and 6, in this we just need to write the 5 plus 6, that's it, which is lot more similar to human language. If we look into this code, it is easy to understand the code that what we are typing to do. Program written in high level language cannot be executed directly on the computer. That is because the computer can only understand the machine level language. So we have to convert it to machine level language by using two methods, that is compilation and interpretation. That compilation is done by the compiler and interpretation is done by the interpreter. In the compilation, the source code is get converted at once and executed at once. But if you consider the interpretation, the source code is converted line by line and executed immediately after the conversion of each line. This compiler and interpreter is the program which is used to convert the high level language into the machine level language. This high level language is hardware independent language, but it is also platform dependent language. The machine level and assembly languages are low level language, as the programmer are easily access computer memory and directly work with the data. But with the most of the high level language, programmers can't directly access the memory and work with the data. But there are some languages which allows the programmer to work with the computer memory and the data, and it is called as a middle level language. And this middle level languages, they provide all the features of higher level language, and it allows the programmer to work with the computer memory and data directly. Example of these languages are C and C++. These are the middle level languages. In high level language, we are having the example Java, Python, etc. Scripting language, which is also called as an very high level language. Now, if we consider the C